All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Friday morning. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. As we see Bitcoin in a very volatile and docile situation here, we're going to be discussing the possibilities as we're breaking down from this wedge, but also, if you draw it a little bit differently, we're actually breaking down and backtesting right now the triangle. Le triangle. Alright. So what are we going to be, what is going on right now with Bitcoin? Like, what the heck, man? I'll tell you what. This is something we've literally been looking out for and prepared for years now. We've been talking about this triangle, talking about the most probable thing to happen is a liquidity grab of either the lows or the highs. And this is exactly what's happened so far. Liquidity grab of the lows. Liquidity grab of the lows right from the dang trade setup that we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord back on Monday. Alright? Take out the low at around 115,000. Look for a move back to the top of the range. In the Casper Crew, man, we've been crushing these dang trades. Gave the setup from 100,000, took the trade, locked the profits. Gave the setup from 105,000, took the trade, locked the dang profits. All right, gave the trade, which obviously is stopped out in profit now, from 116,000. Took the trade, locked in a take profit one, baby. And of course, now that's been stopped out in profit. And the next level we're looking for in the Casper Crew is currently hit. And we are getting the bounce right from that level. Shout out to the Casper Crew, jasonstratham.com. Got to give a major shout out to also the sponsors of the channel, guys. Make sure to check out KCEX. If you haven't already checked out KCEX. Alright, this exchange, very, very low fees. Great for scalping. Alright, great for scalping. Low fees, great for scalping. Make sure to check out WEEX. Also, low fees, great for scalping. Make sure to check out BLOFIN. BLOFIN, guys, offering a whole bunch of juicy stuff, cash back bonuses, $100 giveaways, gotta love BLOFIN, and of course ANTARCTIC exchange, guys. Decentralized, gonna change the name of the game, and also if you know how to trade but you have no money, check out Klein funding, because they have a prop firm that trades on Bitget, crypto prop firm trades on Bitget, and I have a 25% discount on these accounts. You can get an instant pro account, which means you don't need to pass a challenge. 15% discount, all right? You get a 15% discount, get a $50,000 account for about $1,000 here with my discount. No challenge needed. Make sure to check it out. Link in the description. We also got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to MJ who says fat butt bounces. Shout out to Spank. Check out every exchange out there. These are actually a select few that I personally enjoy as far as centralized exchanges go. And my plan eventually is to only trade on Antarctic exchange in the future. But right now, these exchanges are the ones that I'm currently trading on. And it's always good to diversify your trading across multiple exchanges. Shout out to DJ. Shout out to Ito. Shout out to Crypto Incognito. Shout out to Guy Incognito and Big G. Bitcoin going to zero, sell it all. Shout out to Getchy. Shout out to Patrick Schooner. He says moin moin. Does that mean good morning, good morning? Shout out to Mickey. And shout out to HFG, who's conspicuously absent. Shout out to Investment Time. Shout out to Driftman. Shout out to Soul Surfer. He says best trader on the planet is coming, guys. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Daniel, he says yes to Driftman, and shout out to S-Car. Alright, S-Car. Now, let's discuss this Bitcoin price action. Alright, we're going to head on over. As we are currently rejecting from the trend line, this is very key right now actually, very, very key. We're rejecting from the trend line of this bottom triangle here, guys. Alright. Now here's the deal. If we want to see more upside on Bitcoin, alright, if you are long from this level, here's what needs to happen. A reclaim of 117,000 is a must, because that is the fair value zone. Remember, when we see a breakdown like this, the question is it a real breakdown? Or is it just a deviation, and then we're going to see a move back to the upside? Did we just stop hunt everybody, and now we're about to get a move back to the upside? What needs to happen now, if we want to see more upside, is a reclaim of the low of this fair value zone. Because historically, for the past few days, weeks, since July 10th, this level, 116,992, we'll call it 117,000, has been considered undervalued, right? Anything here, undervalued. And we would expect Bitcoin to get a correction back to the upside. So now we've seen like a real breakdown. The question is this real or fake? If we come back above this area, this is the market telling us, oh man, super undervalued Bitcoin, let's pump this back up to the high of the range. If we get a rejection from here, lower is probable. Lower is probable. Now, one thing that's quite interesting here is the lack of bullish divergence that we see as we come to this level. All right. In fact, we see money flow is getting lower and momentum is flat. Pretty flat. All right. We come to our 24-minute time frame here, and money flow is getting a little higher. It doesn't look so good on the 1 hour. Like from down here, it's getting higher, but from here, it's definitely getting lower. And the momentum waves here are getting lower. Okay. So as we're coming down to this area, there's a big lack of bullish divergences. The momentum and the price are doing the same thing, which actually is pretty weak. It's pretty weak. Now, the only bullish thing we see here about these oscillators is the fact that they are very, very, very oversold. They're very low. I mean, we're seeing 96 negative on market Cipher B on the 12-minute. Even on the 12-minute here, when we hit this bottom, we did have some bullish div here, but not really with the money flow. All right, money flow coming out here. So it's not looking the best as far as bounces go here, which is why I'm saying if you're not already long from the ninja entry, we need to wait for a reclaim and a back test to get long again, right? That's what really needs to happen. That's our first major sign of strength here. If we don't get that, you know, right now I would say I would be very, very hesitant to look for a long before taking that low again, right? Even on a golden pocket back test, I would be hesitant on longing here just because the oscillators don't look bottomed out to me yet, right? Because, you know, this is the first instinct you have, like, okay, we formed a nice bottom, a nice liquidity grab. Now we look for the higher low after we made that higher high. I would be cautious because I don't see very clear bottom signals here on market Cipher B. Let's go to the 6-minute. The 6-minute looks nice, okay? The 6-minute is the only time frame here that really looks beautiful on market Cipher B. This is really what we would have wanted to see on like our 24-minute or our 12-minute. The money flow getting higher, the momentum wave getting higher. So the medium time frames don't look bottomed out yet. These low time frames do. So if we cannot reclaim 117, I would expect a little bit lower. Now, there's the elephant in the room, which is this. All right, the CME gap that we have here at 114. All right, we have the CME gap. Everyone's talking about it. 113.8 if you go by the candle bodies, 114.3 if you go by the wicks. Now, something else which is quite interesting is we are bouncing right from the top of the gap. Okay, we're bouncing from the top of the gap. So this could be like a bottom, but if we make another low, the filling of this gap is very, very probable. So that would kind of be the next area to be looking for if we get another move to the downside. However, and I do want to say this, because everybody is looking at the CME gap, like everybody is looking at the CME gap, that makes me feel like we might not get a bounce from it, right? It makes me feel like we might not get a bounce from the CME gap. It's possible, but it makes me feel like we could come down a little bit lower. And the most obvious level here, in my opinion, is going to be the back test of these highs, right? We have the back test of these highs, and we have the value area high of all of this action. All right, let's check it out. The value area high of all of this action, right? This is really the main zone, and this would wreck a lot of people, right? Especially if Bitcoin dips below 110. All right. Everyone's calling for the CME gap at 114, and everyone's calling for 110 as major support. Now, I'm not trying to be a bear or give you a scare. I'm just trying to think, like, what's going to wreck the most people and give me the best long entry? It would obviously be if we come down to the CME gap, get a little bounce, make another lower low, come down to 110, get a fake little bounce, and then finally get one last low, and this is the bottom, and people are freaking out. Oh no, 110 psychological, we lost it. We're back inside this old range, right? But then we bounce from the value area high. If that happens, and we do bounce from the value area high, check out this. All right, we've got ourselves this kind of trend line. We can roughly draw it in these areas here. It's a rough trend line. You could even connect it in a few different ways. This is not like solid analysis, but we're just kind of looking to see, okay, what confluences are also here at this value area. We also take the Fibonacci from the swing low to the high, and we see that, you know, we've got our golden pocket coming in literally right at that value area high. All right, so it's very, very interesting times, and I think what happens right here, especially when New York opens in about an hour, is going to be very telling. But you can already see we're getting the rejection from this trend line, okay? From this trend line. So we got to give a major shout to everybody in the house. We got 975 people, 150 likes. Look, we have 30 minutes to get the likes to 1,000 to give away $1,000. All right? So make sure to smash up the dang likes. Shout out to Jeremy Cup. This will send alts to 0. Very cool. I don't think it's going to send alts to 0, man. I think it's going to send alts down to pretty key support. All right? I think it's going to send out... Shout out to HFG. Good to see you, man. I'm glad you're all right. The front run CME gap would wreck people too. That's true, Machine, which is why... Yeah, so Machine brings up a good point. This is a front run of the CME gap, and it's happened in Asia. Was it London Open? I don't know. We have a front run of the CME gap. Everyone's waiting for lower, but we just front run it and pump from here. That is a possibility. One that I would be leaning more towards if I saw bullish divergences. But, you know, personally for me, like, I did take a long from 115. And I'm not going to take profit, even though I should be taking profit one here. I'm not going to take profit here. I'm going to let the dang trade ride because it's such a small risk here. It's a couple $100 risk. Totally worth it for me to take that risk. Because, yeah, if this is the bottom, I'm going to let this thing ride, baby. All the way up to 121 plus. All right? But I'm not feeling too confident that this is the bottom. Even though I am long from the bottom. From the setup given in the Casper crew that we've been waiting for forever. All right? So, yeah, we could front run it. I'm prepared for the front run. But I'm fully aware that, you know, I'm obviously if this is a trade that you're taking for a scalp as your only trade of the day, you know, you should definitely have booked a take profit one at a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. But I'm holding it, risking a couple $100 only on this trade because, you know, in my mind, if this is the bottom, I want to be in this long, or I want to be in this long. If it's not the bottom, I take a couple $100 loss. Not a big deal. I'm still in multiple long trades. I'm up 9. I'm up like $14,000 unrealized already on my longs. So I kind of want to be in this long. I'm always looking for new longs to kind of build a long position along the way up. All right. And I'm also in a short trade as well. I'm also in a short trade from the from the Casper crew short levels that we gave back in the middle of July, around July 16th. I've been holding a short all this time as well. So if we dump, I'm also hedged. I'm hedged against these long trades. How many times did it take me to snipe the trade? I'll show you. It took me like 17,000 times. Let's see. Let's see how many how many trades it took me to snipe that low. All right. This is where YouTube traders really get embarrassed. All right, let's see. I opened a trade on July 15th, on July 20th, and on July 23rd. These are the only trades I've taken this whole month, okay? So this is my first shot. This is my first shot sniping the exact bottom, all right? Now look, I haven't really made a lot of money this month because I'm waiting for that big move, right? I'm waiting for that big move. I made about half an ETH. I took a little ETH trade. I lost 90 bucks on an ETH trade somehow. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I lost a little bit of money on an ETH trade as well. But then, yeah, the Bitcoin trade I was in, obviously that closed out for a $500 profit. And again, I'm being very hesitant to take profits on these longs. I'm pretty much making sure I'm going to break even or make a little bit of money because I am waiting for that big move. And the way you snipe the exact bottom, guys, okay, is you make a dang plan in advance. All right, you make a dang plan in advance. Like, I said it multiple times. If you're in the Casper crew, people are asking me, are you going to re-long? Are you going to re-long? Because I did take a long. I took a long, and it got stopped out for a tiny little loss, actually. But I said, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for one of my levels. I'm going to wait for one of my levels. All right? Wait for one of my levels. And so you wait for your levels. Guys, look. Check out the free trading course on my YouTube channel. Check out the free trading course on my YouTube channel. All right? You want to avoid over trading? You want to avoid throwing money away by trying to snipe the exact bottom? Check out the course, okay? Check out the video, how to make a trading plan from a blank chart. Check out the risk management, and check out how to manage open trades, all right? How to manage open trades. Look, in the Casper crew, we snipe those bottoms. Not only do we snipe the bottoms, guys, we give them in advance. If I'm at the dang computer or Discord, I tell people when I take the trade, right? Took a long just now, look at that. Boom, snipe the bottom, all right? And we give it in advance. Give it in advance, tell people when we're doing it, and it's the bottom. It's because we make the plan. We know the criteria. We know the level. We're not going to try and throw money around at not levels, especially in Chop City like this. All right, especially in Chop City like this. Let's be honest. Especially in Chop City like this. Hopium says another dump loading. Yeah, it really does look like we're going to reject from here. Let's take a look at order flow real quick. Let's take a look at order flow quickly here. Let's see what's happening. Let's see how this move up has happened so far. Okay, so, yeah, we actually, interestingly enough, this move to the downside, a lot of people longing this. It looks like a lot of people were flopping and groping down here. A lot of people were flopping and groping down here. A lot of people trying to snipe the long at the bottom because as the price is getting lower, you see more and more longs opening up. Sadly, we don't see any bullish CVD here. We don't see any bearish CVD here either, though. We saw a whole bunch of longs open up at the top, which is never a good sign. Pretty much, this whole move up didn't happen on it. This was just a squeeze. And now everyone decided to long the dang top. What the heck, guys? You know, whoever longed the top here, it's your fault we're going to dump. Seriously. You can't long the top after a rise like this on a decrease of open interest and not expect to get punished by the market makers. Alright, so I'm not going to blame myself for this trade getting stopped out, even though I could take profit right now, $900. I'm going to blame you guys. I'm going to blame you guys for longing the dang top. Sheesh, man. You're driving me insane. Pegless says 110K incoming. Yeah, you know, and the fact, so there's two levels everybody's looking at, right? The two levels everybody's looking at is level number 1, 114 CME gap. Level number 2 is the 110, which is why I just have a feeling that we're going to come a little bit lower than 110, all right? I just have a feeling we're going to come a little bit lower than 110 because everybody's looking for 110. You know, and when everyone's looking at a level, it's just like the common thing to say, oh, 110, 110, 110. As long as we don't lose 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110. Right? So imagine we just come back to value area high around 109, 108 point something. Oh, man. Losing 110. People gonna freak, man. We're gonna chill here, get another dip. Oof, max pain. Boom! Alright? Max pain and boom. And, you know, if we do zoom out here, it does actually look pretty nice in the uptrend, right? Like, look at the intersectionality that we would have there. Look at just the intersectionality that we would have right around there, you know? So, yeah. We lose that, that's really bad. We lose this, that's really bad, actually. That is really bad. That would set up a bearish few weeks, and then we wouldn't bottom out until August, right? Now, there is something interesting about all of this, okay? Which is the fact that for the past few Augusts, it's been a very significant bottom. Now, the pattern doesn't fit because July's have been very bearish, but the bottom in 2024 summer happened on August 5th. I'll never forget that day because I took along right from the bottom during the New York Open live stream, and I told the crew, I'm longing this now, baby, because it was such a key support. And then the bottom here in 2023 was August 18th. That was the bottom, all right? So if the August bottom pattern is going to continue, then we would expect, if we're going to see like a capitulation wick, which could take us down below 110, we would like expect that to happen in August and give us then a bullish fall. If we see more downside, remember, we're taking it level to level, okay? I'm not predicting anything here. I'm just telling you the key levels. That's also super important, right? Whenever you're watching YouTube analysts, remember, if they're giving predictions, they're giving you a guess, okay? But if they're giving you key levels, they're giving you something more valuable than a guess. They're telling you this is a very key support zone. And so just mark it on your chart, because if you wake up one morning and Bitcoin price is down here, now you know, wow, this is a really key support. This is a place I should look for a long. I'm not going to try and snipe the long on the way down like this and lose everything I have, right? I'm going to wait for that key level. And when I see it, then I turn on Market Cipher B. And I like ask myself the question, do I see bullish divergences there? Like, do I see the momentum getting higher as the price is getting lower, giving us that juicy, uneven butt cheek pattern? Giving us the juicy, Sam Bankman-Fried, bullish, uneven man boob pattern? And if the answer is yes, then you have a trade, right? All these predictions, man, that's not the way to do it. It's preparation, all right? Preparation H, baby. You know, H stands for high probability setup. Preparation H. High probability setup, baby. If you know what I mean. Shout out to all my Preparation H users in the chat. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. Shout out to Spiritual Trade Podcast. He says, to my pencil necks calling for lower, we go up. Do you think my neck is that skinny, bro? Look, I try and do my neck exercise. How's my neck looking? A little skinny? They say, what should they say? Should your neck be the same size as your biceps or bigger? I mean, it's impossible. My biceps are so dang big. How am I ever going to get my neck that thick? I'm going to put dang sleep apnea. Spiritual Trading Podcast. You really think my neck is that skinny, bro? It hurts the self-esteem. Now, I take my image very seriously around here. So you're really making me feel bad, okay? You know, I'm always trying to look my best. You know, I want to go out in public and people look at me and they say, wow, look at that guy. Just walking, mind my own business. In the grocery store looking at stuff. I want people to think highly of me, you know? I don't want them to think, is it true this whole time they see me out there looking like this? And they're like, man, that guy has a skinny neck. That dude's neck could be snapped in half by a wind blast. What's a wind blast? My goodness. Sheesh. What equipment do I have in the home gym? Oh man. Oh my goodness. What equipment do I have in the home gym? Oh man. Oh my. Are you really asking that question? You're making me answer. I'll give you guys a tour of the home gym. I'll give you guys a little tour of the home gym, alright? Alright. You guys ready for a tour of the home gym? Alright, here we go. Home gym. We got the belt squat right over here. Alright, we got the dumbbells right over here. Alright, we got the glute hip thrust right over here. Oh man, that's good. We got the leg press. Okay. One of those things that every hotel don't really know what it is. Lat pull down, low row, cables, hammer strength row. Of course, the pec fly, preacher curl. Love it, love it, love it. Got the Smith machine, baby. Alright. We got the rack. Okay, we got the rack, squats, bench presses, overhead presses. Now look at this for all you home gym owners. Rack mounted leg curl, leg extension machine. Alright, now that's a game changer right there. Alright. That's a game changer right there. Alright. And then, of course, you know, you got your dips you could do on the rack, your pull-ups, all that stuff. You got the hammer strength incline chest press. Alright. There's the tour of the home gym, baby. That's pretty much all the equipment I got. That's what we got. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. The leg equipment is definitely not for me. All right, it's only for my wife. The leg equipment is only for my wife. I never train legs, never. All right, never, never. And who would? Who needs legs anyway? All right, especially as YouTubers, you only see the top half. All right, so that's why I only train chest, shoulders, and biceps, because that's all you guys ever gonna see. You know, and the only reason you should ever work out is for people to see your muscles. There's no other reason. Health. Come on, longevity, flexibility, mobility as you age, feeling good. No, none of that. It's all about people looking at your muscles so that you can think that they think, man, that guy works out. It's all about you thinking that they think that you work out. That's why we do it. So that other dudes can look at us and we can think that they think that we lift. I mean, that's why we do it. All right. Where's the neck equipment? I actually do have a neck attachment that goes onto the cable machine, but I'll be honest, I don't train my neck at all, alright? I don't train the neck at all. I just do shrugs and deadlifts, and I don't know, I don't think it looks too skinny, alright? You know? I don't think it looks too skinny. Alright. Let's look at total 3. Okay, total 3. Losing the dang trend line right now. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. We're trying to get a back test above it. This is either going to be a bullish back test, or we lose it. And if we lose it, then we will come down a little bit lower. Now, here's the deal. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. I'm still bullish on altcoins, guys. I'm still bullish. I think we're in bullish market structure. I think this pullback is just that. A pullback, a retracement, okay? I would be looking for, if we're going to lose that trend line, a move back down to this key support on total 3. 829 billion, all right? 829 billion, that's going to be super key support. We would come down here. We'd make that higher low. This beautiful rounded bottom right into the key support. We have bullish divergence. We have a change of market structure. We have a higher low. We have a higher high. This would be another higher low right here. Back testing support. Then we could come and make another higher high. I would be looking at that. I don't think this looks bearish at all. We'll pull our fib from the local low. We might come to 885.5 bill. Un. Alright. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't need no stinking leg day. Do I like calisthenics or CrossFit? Yeah, I love calisthenics. I've never done CrossFit. Alright. How much can I bench? Not very much. Alright. Not very much. Have I ever used power blocks? Have I ever used power blocks? 100 pounds? Yeah, actually I have power blocks. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, I have some power blocks in my other gym. Alright. In my other gym, I have some power blocks. Alright, sometimes I run away to an undisclosed location where I have another little gym there. And that gym has power blocks. It's a much more watered down gym. It's just got a rack, a bench, and some power blocks. You know? But yeah, I love me some power blocks. And mine go up to 90. Mine go up to 90. Alright. Alright. Trump is bullish. He wants lower rates. He toured the Fed building in DC and said, Powell, you gonna lower rates for me, right? That's so funny. Is that true? I didn't see that. I gotta see that. I gotta see that. Just do push-ups and you'll be fine, says Mickey. Yeah, push-ups are great too. You know, push-ups are great too. I love push-ups. If ever I'm in a place with no gym, I have these. Let me show you. Let me show you what I got. I have these. Called J Flex. No joke, they're called J Flex. That's the name of the dang brand. Alright, I couldn't believe it. J Flex, these little things, alright? And it's like a door pull-up bar. Except, they're just single things. And you can change the width of the pull-up that you do in the door. Alright? They can hold a lot of weight. Look, J Flex, I'm not even joking with you guys. J Flex. So they were made for me. So if ever I'm in a place with no gym, I bring my J Flex bars and I'll do push-ups, high volume push-ups, elevated feet, you know, pike push-ups, and then I'll do chin-ups and pull-ups and all that kind of stuff. Lunges and all that body weight stuff. You know, sissy squats and pistol squats. Look, you don't need much to get a good workout, I'll tell you. You don't need much to get a good workout. Let's check out ETH. Man! Look at ETH on the daily. Man, ETH does not look bad at all right now. ETH does not look bad at all. I'll tell you, wow, look at ETH. ETH is looking actually pretty bullish right now. Look at the 5 hour. Look at the 6 hour on ETH, man. ETH looks like she wants to take the high. This actually gives me more hope for Bitcoin. This gives me hope that this is just a retracement and just a consolidation, and we are going to see Bitcoin pump. All right, ETH is holding really nice right now. This is nice. I like to see ETH looking like this. Again, I'm still going with the ETH is going to pump like crazy theory. All right, based on our monthly time frame. This is a worse. Or this was yesterday. Someone asked me a question about ETH. That was like a worst case scenario. But right now, ETH is looking like she wants to take the high again, and I'm still going to go with my bias here that the monthly dot has confirmed. This is an extremely historic bullish signal that we've never seen before. We are currently attempting to break out and close a monthly candle in 6 days above this trend line that goes all the way back to 2021. All right, we got the fake out back here in December 2024. We close this monthly candle. That's very bullish. I believe we're going to see a $4,000 ETH very soon. And once we see $4,000 ETH and we hold above, probably form another little range up here, we're going to just shoot off. All right. And it's going to go probably towards $8,000. All right, this is still my deal with ETH. The monthly looks bullish. The 2 week, bullish. The week, bullish. Money flow just crossed. The 4 day, I still say that looks bullish based on the money flow. And look at the daily. All right, money flow, thickening, yellow oscillator starting to point up. This yellow oscillator gives us the green dot. That's going to be the signal green dot on the daily oscillator for ETH is going to be the signal. All right, look at this. We are back testing the dang trend line. All right, we are back testing the dang trend line. We are coming right to the dang level that we gave in the Casper crew on Wednesday. Right, on Wednesday we gave that level in the Casper crew. Let's see here. I don't think I could show you. But we gave this level exactly in the Casper crew, 3005. We are getting a bounce from it. So let's see. Let's check out our 4-hour here. This is looking actually pretty... I like the way ETH is looking. I like the way ETH looks more than Bitcoin here. Let's check out Sol. Look at this. Sol is getting the back test right now. Sol is getting a back test. All right? Sol is getting a back test right now. This is one of the long ideas that we had on Sol here. All right? We are getting a back test of the value area high of this range. All right? That means if we get the bounce from here, that is a valid long signal. All right? Now, I'd be cautious longing on a 2-day red dot. I'd look for some low time frame kind of entry here. 4-hour bottomed out. Let's check out our 1-hour. 1-hour bull divs. Money flow looking a little ambiguous. I'd be very interested in what happens around here, especially as New York opens in half an hour after this Asia-London pullback here. We might be able to get some good entries on a few of these coins. Honestly, we might be able to get some good entries on a few of these coins. Guys, make sure to smash the likes. What's my warm-up routine? I do mobility work 3 times a week, and I do mobility work before every workout. I do lots of mobility work: hip mobility, ankle mobility, lower back mobility, thoracic extension mobility. I do a lot of stretching. I stretch the chest, I stretch the lats, I stretch the shoulders, I stretch the quads, I stretch the hamstrings. All right? You gotta warm up, man. All right? Just kidding, I don't warm up. I walk into the gym, slap 315 on the bench, and just drop it on my chest, bounce it as hard as possible. You know, look, if you really want to make the gains, that's how you gotta do it. Am I Ben Shapiro's dad? Is Ben Shapiro... there's so many Shapiros out there. Is he the one? Which one is he? Which one is he? Is he the conservative guy? The conservative Jewish guy who wears the yarmulke all the time? Is that him? I think that's him, right? Am I his dad? I don't think so. Do I use rubber bands? Absolutely, Tina D. I use resistance bands all the time. All the time. Shout out to Crypto Tom. He walks uphill both ways on his way to the gym. That's what's up. Shout out to Felipe Collin. Powell has no choice now but to lower rates. Too much pressure on his pencil neck shoulders. Yeah, I think that's true, and I think that's going to give us a super bullish super bullish fall. Mr. K says, like a real man, we don't need no warm-ups, you know? Yeah, real men don't need warm-ups. Famous last words of every real man. Every real man I know who said that ends up being a fake man, alright? Yeah, RIP Hulk Hogan, man, that's crazy. What's with XRP? What's with XRP? Let's check it out. Let's check out XR Pizzle, baby. So XRP coming down to that first zone of support here. Look at that dump on XRP, man. What a rug. Let's do some fresh analysis here. Let's do some fresh analysis here on XRP. All right. We're just going to look at the sideways range. Let's come up with the juiciest levels to long XRP right now. The juiciest levels to long XRP. Value area high, golden pocket. $2.50. up to $3, up to $2.57 to 2.666. All right, 666. And if that ain't a hint enough that XRP's of the devil, I don't know what is. But yeah, that's going to be a super juicy level right there. Major confluence. All the liquidity will be taken, right? All these stop losses will be taken. Basically, all these guys will be taken, and then we will bounce from support. That's the juiciest level. Now, so far, we are seeing some medium time frame bull divs here. This is an area of support. Like I said for Bitcoin, like, could the bottom be in now? It's possible, but we are bouncing from the local golden pocket, right? But the juiciest level for XRP is going to be $2.666, man. That's the juiciest level. Could the bottom be in here? Yeah, it could. All right. If you caught along from here, congratulations. Right, we tapped right into that golden pocket. We made a higher high. Now we're making a higher low. Let's check it out. From the low to the high, we're bouncing again from the local golden pocket, which means this is actually a valid long setup right here. Okay. This is a valid long setup right here. It's valid. What do I mean by valid long? Do I mean we're guaranteed to pump? No. I mean, we have a trading plan, which is we come down to the golden pocket. We want to see bullish divergence. We see bullish divergence. Then we make a higher high. All right, we make a higher high, and then we make a higher low into the key fib level with a trigger wave direction on market Cipher B. So what we have here is we have a bounce from support, a higher high, a higher low, confirmation of a trend change. And so that gives us a valid long with a valid stop loss, right? Because if we're wrong about this being the low, this being a higher high, this being a higher low, and then we make a higher high, where would we be wrong about that? We'd be wrong if we make a lower low, which means a stop loss here is our invalidation of the idea. The idea is we made a low, a higher low, and we're going to make a higher high. That's why we take the long. Confirmation is we saw bullish divergences, all right? Invalidation is we make a lower low. What this means is we're risking 1% in order to make 3% if we come back to the highs, or if we hit our $4 XRP psychological, we're risking 1 to make 5, all right? This is what makes the trade setup valid. It's a good risk to reward ratio with a clear stop loss, a clear entry and reason for entry, all right? So this is a valid long on XRP right now. If this thing gets stopped out and New York opens and we dump more, then I would be very interested in coming down to 2.666. All right, 2.666. Weirdo on the treadmill, what a clown. Weirdo on the treadmill, what a clown. Weirdo on the treadmill, what a clown, says G-Boss. I know. I do have to say though, G-Boss, it does hurt my emotions when you talk about me like that. You know? The only reason I have this YouTube channel is so that you can think I'm cool and not a weirdo, all right? And so I guess do you know how long I spent this morning on my hair? With the curling iron, how long I spent on my makeup. This isn't real, this is all mascara, right? I can't really grow a beard yet. You know how long it took me to pick out which hat to wear to impress you? First I was gonna go with the Sherlock Holmes special. Then I said, nah, I'll go with the blue. Then I said, nah, I'm wearing a blue shirt. Maybe I should go with the purple with the white. But then I said, no. Then I thought, you know what? Why don't we take it back to old school, like the thumbnail, have the Pikachu hat. I said, nah, glitches out with the green screen. Then I thought to myself, maybe I won't wear a hat. Maybe I'll wear these Mexican sombrero mustache glasses. Si, senor. I said, no, I do want to wear a real hat. And so I finally decided on this, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, Jay, you have a lot of people to impress today, and I really think they're going to think you're cool. Especially G-Boss. God bless you, G-Boss. I love you, man. Alright, guys. I have to head out. I'm so sorry. I have kid duty. Gotta watch the kids. Alright, my wife's got stuff to do. I love my wife. She's awesome. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll see you guys later. Peace, and God bless you in Jesus' name.